Here we go!
So, 2020 is just about done, and the anime for this year has been what one might call a bitch. It has been rough. Crunchyroll shit came out, and that was like all mid. It was all hyped up by the fans, and then either the source material is also bad, or the fans are saying that it was a bad adaptation. I mean, the animation in God of High School was cool, but it's been rough. There hasn't been as much stuff because of like cancellations and delays because the thing happened with COVID and it's still happening. So hopefully 2021's better because they're not as bad as the US with it. But I want to take the time to talk about one show in particular, and it's bad. It's good, but it's bad. Not good bad in the way that like an old 80s movie is good bad. It's good in the fact that it has high production values, it is well done, but it is bad in the fact that the story is just garbage, it's insulting, and it just loves to ram its bad moral philosophy just straight down your throat. The Great Pretenders came out, I think, in the spring, at least over here in the US, and since then, I've heard it talked about a little bit here and there. Its art design is beautiful. Like, the backgrounds are just so unique to itself. It has very much its own character. I dig on the character designs. The line work is like real cool. It makes them all have a very distinct look that makes them look different from like generic anime. And I like it when style shines through in a show. The soundtrack itself is also very stylized. It has like this jazzy little undertones to it that make it very interesting to just listen to. I could probably listen to it, throw it on the background, listen to it by itself. And like the dub is like one of the best dubs to come out in like recent years. It even like the first episode, it does like this really fun thing where it has the Japanese actors like speaking with their accents and shit, and then it'll transition into like the English dub voices, which is like something that Netflix can do because they control the production of it.
Sounds like a weird jumble of a bunch of different dialects. Where did you learn to speak like this?
What do you mean we're the jumble? I'm gonna jumble you! I'm warning you, pissing me off is a bad idea!
Oh, so mad. It's cute.
Now, after hearing that, you might ask, hey, Solomon, that sounds pretty cool, doesn't it? What could be so bad about it? Oh, bro, for those uninitiated, aren't you lucky? For the record, don't watch this show. I suggest not watching the show. And if you do watch it, then make sure to watch through the whole video. Like, comment, and subscribe. But listen to me, my opinions matter. The morals of this show are stupid. It presents ideas, and it has characters very much grounded in reality, but then does not take any type of nuance to explore those characters, or what they should do, or how their situations have really affected them, or how they should go about their life from here on out. Specifically, I'm talking about the first core of the series, the first 12 episodes, and the first 2 arcs are the ones which I have the big problem with. The third arc is inoffensive, if not like, a bit poorly done, but, I'm not gonna get all in a ruffle about that. I want to talk mostly just about the first 2 arcs. So, from here on out, spoilers. The Great Pretenders follows Makoto as he is learning to be a confidence man. Makoto is a Japanese man who is down on his luck, but, supposedly he is the best con man in all of Japan. The first arc centers on him, Abigail, and Laurent trying to figure out how to con this Hollywood executive who uses his Hollywood executiveness as a front for trafficking drugs. Ooh, bad rich man. Rich people are bad, eat the rich, all of them are reprehensible. But the structure of the story doesn't just involve trying to con Mr. Richman. It also follows a secondary plot line, kind of the more important one, because it's what morally grounds the story. But we meet a gangster, a gangbanger named Hector, and he's a Latino man who comes from a poor background, didn't get a good education, didn't have a way to get out of the hood. He is a very grounded character. There are so many people that are like that live in that same type of situation, that are victims of their circumstances. What you gonna do? People don't be hiring you if you don't got a good education. He dropped out of high school. He didn't manage to make it that far, so he ended up gangbanging. And now he has a family and he wants to take care of his family, so what is he to do? And Makoto understands this struggle, or at least he should, because he has been through this. Makoto is someone who was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up getting arrested and sent to jail unjustly, and then that left a stain on his whole record. Now he has a criminal record, and every time he goes applying to jobs, he gets denied immediately because people see that he has a criminal record. The fuck is he supposed to do? So at this point, watching the series during the first arc, I'm thinking, oh, wow, they're gonna come at this with some fucking nuance. Nuance in shit is cool. Nuance with grounded characters is always something interesting to see. No. They say, fuck you, nuance. Makoto says, oh, being a gangbanger is bad. You're a bad man. What is your son gonna think? You bad man, Hector. Maybe you just shouldn't be a gangster. And that is as far as that story goes. The main plot gets wrapped up where they steal all the money from Rich Dude, and now Hector is free to not be a criminal anymore. But then, now what does he do? He's a dude without a college degree. The fuck is he supposed to do? How does he provide for his son? It provides no answers to this situation. It just says, oh, don't be bad. Here are all the problems with the socio-economic situation that Hector was presented with. Just don't be bad. Being bad is bad. And the main character, goes back to prison. He turns in the money and gets rid of all of that, and then, all of a sudden, now he has a job. That is the show's moral stance. And it's just just fuck you. Fuck you. That's such a moral cop-out. Not trying to actually explain it. You presented these ideas, and then you just don't deal with them. Someone could try to make the argument that, oh, that's just not the type of show this is. Well, then don't put those ideas up in center stage of the show. It's not in the background in any way. It is very much the substance of this. Because just trying to do a heist is so boring that that cannot hold your story together for a bunch of episodes. For the running time of this, just the heist is not enough. But then that doesn't mean that you can pay lip service to moral philosophy or a nuanced take on it and then just drop it and leave it how it is. There was something that I forgot to mention while I was recording that I remembered while I was editing. The show goes out of its way to draw very clear parallels between Makoto's dad and Hector. It tries to equivocate the crimes of the two and say, oh, they're both criminals, they're both bad. They are not equally bad. Makoto's dad is a sack of garbage. He is human garbage. Makoto's dad was a middle class, it's not clear, but he was a well-off lawyer who was winning his cases and shit, and he decided, oh, I'm gonna go into child sex trafficking. He was a child sex trafficker. And it tries to equivocate that to Hector, who is just a gangbanger on the street. Selling drugs is bad, it could be bad for your community and stuff. Addiction is not cool, but it's nowhere in the ballpark of how bad being a child sex trafficker is. And the show tries to equivocate the two, and it makes me so mad. Best case scenario, what the author was trying to do when writing this script was give Makoto some moral ground to stand on when talking to Hector about why he's bad. It doesn't work, but he tries, I guess. But still, it's not the same. Finding out your dad sells drugs is not the same as finding out your dad sold children. Especially when Hector is doing that shit out of necessity. Makoto's dad was doing his shit out of pure greed just to make more money. It's baffling to think. The author, I don't know what they thought they were doing with this, but it didn't work. It's stupid. It's stupid, and it just shows how, unempathetic they are if they think that someone selling drugs is the same as someone selling children. It's just so fucking smooth brain to me. And then the next arc is somehow even worse. Wow, you might ask me, really? Maybe you're exaggerating. That seems pretty bad already. No, I'm not exaggerating. The next arc is... Oh my lord. So much worse. During the next arc, our focus as our villain is a corrupt rich dude who runs an airplane race and fixes the odds. That is... It is what it is. But our moral focus is on Abigail from our last arc, and deepening our understanding of her. And guess what? She is an Iraq refugee. When she was a little girl, she was a dancer, and then her whole life was just bombed to shit by the US military. Wow, what a fun subject. Wow, I bet this show is just gonna have the best nuanced take on US imperialism and the way that it affects the Middle East. I'm sure that's exactly what you're thinking after you heard me talking about how bad it is. So, Abby, her whole life was bombed to shit, her parents were killed, and then she ended up being a child soldier. So, she is thoroughly traumatized. And during the arc of this plane race, she ends up coming across a US soldier who bombed the fuck out of her country. Specifically bombed the town that she lived in. And the story goes out of its way to tell her to shut the fuck up about her trauma. That is her arc in this thing, to shut the fuck up about her trauma. The US veteran guy is from the Air Force, and his whole thing was he used to race in the planes, but then one day his hubris got to him, and he wanted to actually win instead of just playing the role in the rigged races. So now he is sad that he can't fly a plane. That is how they want to make me feel bad for this dude who is a fucking war criminal. He was just following orders, though. No, that's how you fucking justify shit for Nazis. Shut up. No, that is not proper justification for his actions. He is still morally reprehensible. Fuck the military. Fucking US imperialism. It fucking sucks. And yeah, that is how this whole story goes. Just telling Abby to shut up because this man is sad that he can't fly. I don't care that you're dealing with trauma and your parents were killed by this dude. Just shut up, Abby, and stop being sad. The main character literally tells her, well, other people are suffering too. He does the fucking all lives matter justification to a fucking Iraq refugee. Fuck this show. Fuck it. And then just at the end, the ending of her arc is her being like, yeah, maybe I should shut the fuck up. I'm gonna let this imperialist just he's gonna drive my plane and he's gonna be happy, and that makes me happy. And then the arc ends. That is it. Now, normally shows like this are easy to ignore. But this is probably one of the best looking shows this entire year. This show looks beautiful. It is stylized. It's on Netflix, so it's on like the most widely available platform. Mother's Basement made a video about it, promoting it. Mother's Basement is probably one of the loudest voices in the anime community. He called it a fucking instant classic. And like, if you're looking at it purely from a visual standpoint, maybe talking about the soundtrack, I guess you could say that, but that is ignoring the entire story, ignoring the entire narrative, the entire themes. The whole themes of it are just shitting on people for having bad socioeconomic conditions, saying don't be a victim. It doesn't matter that the whole world fucked shit up for you and you were set up to fail from the beginning. This shit is like fucking libertarian Republican propaganda to the max. And gosh, I hate watching it. Republicans are bad people. Don't at me. With how dry this year was for good anime, I wouldn't doubt if like this anime was talked about a whole lot for anime award season. And I think that is ass. That sucks. This whole show is an insult to its viewers, is an insult to the people that made it, that worked on it, that worked on the beautiful, beautiful art. Oh my lord. If I could put this show on mute and just stare at it, I would. But that's just irresponsible. This show is irresponsible with what it's saying. God, I can't get it out of my head. The scene of watching this fucking privileged Japanese man telling an Iraq war refugee that, you know, everyone is suffering. Everyone has problems. So you should get over yours. And I think that is a very good way to just summarize and accentuate the problems with the way that this show handles its shit. If you watch it, just keep in mind, this show is stupid. It thinks it's smart, but it's not. It's fucking stupid. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I don't really know how to do this whole outro thing. It feels weird trying to do it for the first time, but yeah, if you like what I had to say, give it a like, subscribe. I'm going to be talking about more anime and stuff, talk about some movies, talk about that type of junk. I like rambling on about things and feeling like I'm important and having people listen to me. So yeah, thanks. Much love to you. Toodles.